Have you ever been in the roller coaster of business where one minute there's no work and you're frantically looking for it, you're on the phones, you're calling people, you're following up. The next minute you're so busy delivering all of the work you don't know what's happening, and then suddenly the sales run out and you're back on this roller coaster again. Highs, lows, always panicking, always chasing. We want to address that today. Welcome, my name's Mike Clark. I've been training for over a decade and a half. I've trained businesses around the world, and we've gone and put together this blueprint for you to help you start your sales journey. What we're going to be looking at today is the importance of consistency. Consistency comes when you make it part of your habit. Now, you will never stop the highs and lows of business. You'll always have ups and downs. But what we want to do is we want to put a framework around ourselves that will level that out as much as possible. And the best way to do that is to have a consistent methodology in place in your business so that you're reaching out to clients as well as delivering the work in a methodical way. Now, for many people, they go, I just don't feel like making the phone call, or I'm really, really busy, and we give ourselves this excuse not to do it. It's important to understand that you don't need to be motivated before you can take action. You need to take action in order to stimulate the motivation. And so what we want is we want to have action bias inside of our business. And we do that by creating great habits. You see, under pressure, or when you're in your flow, you will always default to habit. And understanding your habits allows you to set them up so that they serve you well. So if you're following our blueprint, this is step 4. You need your piece of paper and a pen, and we'll take you through this. What we're going to do is we're going to track what matters. In the Sales SOS course, we look at what's called key performance indicators and key performance activities. A key performance activity is an activity that you do that will give you a result. That result then being your KPI or your key performance indicator. What activities do you do currently that help you to get work? Make a note of these so that you're clear on what it is that generates sales. Is it the phone calls you make, the follow-ups that you do, the proposals that you send out? When you're clear on that, you can then start to track the things that are really important to your business. How many phone calls a week do you need to be making? How many proposals need to be going out? How many follow-up calls do you need to be making? What gets measured gets actioned. So by tracking what matters, we're far more likely to take action. And it's action that gets us results. Now, when you're tracking what matters, I really encourage you to have SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're realistic, and they're time-bound. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that when you have a goal, you don't just go, do my follow-ups. We want to say, do 5 follow-ups at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. You're far more likely then to do it because it's clear, it's measurable, you've got a time around it, and you know what success looks like. If you're struggling to set a goal, it can be very handy to look at what does it look like when it's done, and use that as your focus point to make sure that you actually take the action. So we've identified what's important to get the sales, the phone calls, the quoting, the follow-ups, etc. We're then going, when will you be doing this? And now what we want to do is we need to lock it into your calendar. In order for an action to occur, it needs 2 things. It needs a person, that's probably you, and it needs a time when it's going to be done by, and a time when you will actually do it. How long does it take? Okay, so we've got the person and the time. And the best way to make sure that it gets done is to lock it into your calendar. So I encourage you now to look at your week's calendar and to lock in dates when you will do key activities that will keep your business moving. Maybe Monday mornings are really good for an admin day where you can do your proposals, your follow-ups. You can make a couple of key phone calls. Maybe Wednesday afternoon, just at the end of the week, to keep that momentum going. And then again on Friday morning. If you keep the small, consistent steps happening, you'll find that they deliver far more reliable results. You want to be in a position where you can predict your next week's income, your next month's income, your next quarter's income, because you know that if you consistently do these activities, you're far more likely to get consistent results. Going and doing big spurts will give you the roller coaster ride that we're trying to avoid. Consistency will give you certainty. Analyze what you're doing, analyze what's working, tweak and refine it, but don't stop doing it. Do more of what works and you'll find you'll get the results that you need. I trust that this has been useful. This little blueprint we've put together has come from our Sales SOS, which is a 6-week course, 15 minutes a day, to help you put in place the foundational building blocks to secure sales success. If you would like to know more, click on the link below and you will discover that the ability to sell is only 6 weeks away. This is step 4 of 5 of our little blueprint we've put out, so do stick around. We'll be looking at closing in our next topic. Here's to your success.